Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Sapna Radwal. I'm working as a professor in the Department of Management at St. Andrews Institute of Technology and Management. This is lecture number 13 of Unit 4 of Organizational Behavior. This subject is taught in BBA second semester. The topic I'm going to cover in this lecture are organizational structures, type of organizational structures, organizational design, steps of designing organization, organizational culture. I'm going to discuss definition and characteristics, then types of organizational culture. So these are the topics I'm going to cover in this lecture. I'm starting with first definition of organizational structure. An organization is a social unit. So an organization is a social unit of individual that is designed and managed to achieve collective goals. As such, organizations are open systems that are greatly affected by the environment they operate in. So every organization has its own typical management structure that defines and governs the relationship between the various employees, the tasks that they perform, and roles, responsibilities, authorities provided to carry out different tasks. So an organization that is well structured achieve effective coordination as the structure delineates formal communication channel, describe how separate action of individuals are linked together. So we can say organizational structures are formal communication channels. This organizational structure describe how separate action of individuals are linked together. So structure actually governs the relationship between the various employees, and it defines the task they are going to perform, their roles, their responsibilities, and authority they are provided to carry out different tasks. So this is the definition of organizational structure. Now the next topic is types of organizational structure. First is line and organizational structure, staff or functional authority organizational structure, then line and staff organizational structure, then committee organizational structure, then divisional organization structure, then project organizational structure, then matrix organizational structure, then hybrid. There are 8 types of organizational structures. I'm starting with first line organizational structure. A line organizational structure has only direct vertical relationship between different levels in the firm. There are only line departments which are directly involved in accomplishing the primary goal of the organization. For example, line department include production and marketing. Or in a line organization, authority follows the chain of command. There is a chain of command in the line organizational structure. The features of line organizational structure is it tends to has only vertical relationship between different levels in the firm. So this is the main feature of line organizational structure. Advantages of line organizational structure is it tends to simplify and clarify authority responsibility relationship, and it promotes fast decision making. It is simple to understand. Disadvantages are it neglect specialist in planning, it overload key persons. So some of the advantages I have already discussed advantages and disadvantages of a pure line organization. That a pure line organization tend to simplify, clarify responsibility, authorities, and accountability of relationship. Actually, the level of responsibility and authority are likely to be precise and understandable. Then a line structure promotes fast decision making and flexibility. Line organizational structure is flexible actually. And line organizational structure are usually small. Management and employees have greater closeness in line organizational structure. Then advantages again I have already discussed, but I'm discussing it again in detail. As the firm grows larger, line organization becomes more effective. So we have already discussed that line organization structures are effective only when the size of the firm is small. But as the firm grows larger, the structure becomes ineffective. Then second disadvantage is improved speed and flexibility may not be offset as lack of specialized knowledge is there. Then managers may have become experts in too many fields. Then there is tendency to become overly dependent on few key role persons who perform numerous jobs at a time. Now the second organizational structure is staff or functional authority organizational structure. In staff or functional authority organizational structure, the job or position of an organization can be categorized as line position and staff position. Line positions are those positions which are in direct chain of command that is responsible for the achievement of an organization goals. Whereas staff positions are intended to provide expertise, advice and support for the line positions. So the line officer or managers have direct authority to be exercised by them to achieve organizational goals. And the staff officers or managers have a staff authority over the line. This is also known as functional authority. Staff authority actually advise line managers. So an organization where staff departments have authority over line personals in narrow areas of specialization is known as functional authority organizational structure. So as in the line organization, the line managers cannot be, we have seen the line managers cannot be expert in all functions they are required to perform. But in the functional authority organization, staff personals who are specialists in some fields are given functional authority. So, actually while this type of organizational structure overcome disadvantages of line organizational structure, it has some major disadvantages too. But as first advantage is the potential conflict resulting from violation of principle of unity of command, the tendency of keep authority centralized at higher level in the organization, and its advantages are the disadvantages of line organizational structure. Now comes third organizational structure, that is a line and staff organizational structure. So most large organizational structure belong to this type of organizational structure, line and staff. These organizations have direct vertical relationship between different levels and also specialists responsible for advising and assisting line manager. Such organizations have both line and staff department. Staff department provide line people with advice and assistant in specialized areas, for example quality control, advising production department. And the line functions are production, marketing, whereas the staff functions include personnel, quality control, research and development, finance, accounting, etc. The staff authority or functional authority organized structure is replaced by staff responsibility so that principle of unity command is not violated. So there are three types of specialized staff can be identified: advising, service and control. Now advantages of line and staff organizational structure. Even though a line and staff structure allows higher flexibility and specialization, it may create conflict between line and staff personals. So line managers may not like staff personnel telling them what to do and how to do it, even though they recognize the specialist knowledge and expertise. Some staff people have difficulty adjusting to roles, especially when the line managers are reluctant to accept advice. Then staff people may resent. So these are actually disadvantages of line and staff organizational structures. And advantages are committee decisions are better than individual decisions. Better interaction between committee members lead to better coordination of activities. Then committee members can be motivated to participate in decision making. Then group discussion may lead to creative thinking. So these are advantages actually. Then comes fourth organizational structure, that is divisional organizational structure. In this type of structure, the organization can have different bases on which departments are formed. They are function, product, geographic territory, project, and combination approach. Now comes next one is project organizational structure. The line or line and staff or functional authority organizational structure facilitate establishment and distribution of authority for vertical coordination and control rather than horizontal relationship. But in some projects, work process may flow horizontally, diagonally, upward and downward. The direction of workflow depends on the distribution of talents and abilities in the organization and the need to apply them to problems that exist. So to cope up with such situation, project organization and metric organizations have emerged. So a project organization is a temporary organization designed to achieve specific result by using teams of specialists from different functional areas in the organization. The project team focuses all its energies, resources, result on the assigned project only. So once the project has been completed, the team members from various cross-functional departments may go back to their previous positions or may be assigned to a new project. Some of the examples of the project organization structures are research and development project, product development, construction of a new plant, housing complex, shopping complex, bridge, etc. Now comes sixth, matrix organizational structure. It is a permanent organizational structure designed to achieve specific results by using teams of specialists from different functional areas in organization. The feature of metric organizational structure is it superimposes a horizontal set of divisions and reporting relationship into a hierarchical functional structure. Advantages of metrics organizational structures are it decentralized decision making, there is a strong project coordination, there is a improved environmental monitoring, there is a fast response to change, a flexible use of resources, and efficient use of support system. Disadvantages of this type of organizational structures are high administration cost, potential confusion over authority and responsibility, high prospect of conflict. Then overemphasis on group decision making, excessive focus on internal relations. This type of organization is often used when the firm has to be highly responsive to a rapidly changing external environment. Now comes seventh, that is hybrid organizational structure. Hybrid type of organizational structure is combination of functional and geographic structure. It has benefit of both the structure. Now advantages of this hybrid organizational structures are alignment of corporate and divisional goals, functional expertise and efficiency, adaptability and flexibility in the divisions. And disadvantages of this type of organizational structures are there is a conflict between corporate department and unit. There is always excessive administration overhead and slow response to exceptional situations. This type of organizational structure used in the organization that face considerable environment uncertainty that can be met through divisional structure and that also required functional expertise or efficiency. So this type of structure is used by multinational companies operating in a global environment. For example, International Business Machine USA. This kind of structure depends on factors such as degree of international orientation and commitment. So multinational corporation may have their corporate office in country of origin and their international division established in various countries reporting to the CEO or president at the headquarters. So the international division or foreign subsidiaries may be grouped into regions such as North America, Asia, Europe, etc. And again each region may be subdivided into countries within each region. While the focus is on international geographic structure, emphasis may also choose functional or process or product departmentation in addition to geographic pattern. While at the headquarter, the departmentation may be based on functions. So it is very clear from these that there are. Now comes Next topic is organizational design. Organizational design is a step-by-step methodology which identifies dysfunctional aspect of workflow, procedures, structures and systems, realign them to fit current business realities, goals and then develop plans to implement the new changes. Now, steps of designing organization. How? The following are the steps of designing organization. The first step is strategy, second is structure, then process, then reward, then people. So I'm starting with first, that is strategy. First step is of strategy. First we have to start with strategy. We have to make changes in the strategy of the organization, because before designing the organization, first we have to make the strategy how we are going to design the organizational structure, or how we are going to design organization again. So we have to formulate strategy. What strategy we are going to follow? We have to determine goals, objective, mission, values of an organization. This is the first step. Now the second step is structure. The second step is to create or to chart out structure of the organization as how the power will be distributed, how the roles and responsibilities will be distributed in the organization. Then third step is process. So this step is related to allocation of budget to various functions of the organization. How the resources, how the budget will be allocated into different functions of the organization. So this is the decision relating to the allocation of resources among the different functions of the organization, as which function will get what resources, etc. Then comes reward. So this step is related to determination of system to motivate employees. So here we are going to design reward system or incentive system, whether employees will get monetary or non-monetary, or what are the monetary rewards, or what will be the monetary rewards and what will be the non-monetary rewards will be given to the employees on the basis of their performance. Then comes next step, that is people. This is related to policies of the organization for recruiting, promoting and training of employees. On what basis the employees is to be recruited, or what will be the sources of recruiting people, or what will be the basis of promoting people, or how they are going to, how the people will get training, and where they will get training. So all the decisions relating to this or related to people will be decided in advance before designing the organization. So these are the steps of designing organization: strategy, structure, process, reward and people. Now elements of organizational design. So a well-designed organizational structure not only defines functions, hierarchy, roles, responsibilities, but also alignment of organizational goals of staff and team. Poor organizational design or structure may result in serious downfalls in organization, that is ambiguity of roles, lack of trust in teams and superiors, rigid work environment, slow and ineffective decision making, etc. So the above mentioned factors are further responsible for the low productivity or turnover. First element is chain of command or line of command. In this, the authority and power are delegated from top to bottom, In an organization, top management give instruction to the bottom team and all the employees at each level. So further, the accountability of employees, job flow upward to the management. So it gives clarity of the reporting structure in the organization. Then second is span of control. This is the second element of organization. Span of Span of control demonstrate how wide is the area of direct control of supervisors over their subordinate, which is directly related to how many subordinates report to senior or supervisor, which in turn depends on the number of tasks performed at different levels. So in case of more tasks, the span of control will be wider. So it also depends on other aspects like geographical locations, the ability of the team superior, the complexity of the task, etc. Then third element of the organizational design is centralization. Centralization refers to centralizing an organizational system where planning and decision making authority is allotted either to a single person or a top management. A decentralized organization is the one where planning and decision making are handed over to middle or low level employees too. Then comes fourth, specialization. Large organization divide some of its function based on specialized areas, and so subtasks are defined and different tasks. These subtasks are distributed among individual job roles. Then comes formalization. Formalization refers to the process of specifying or mentioning rules, procedures, and duties to the employees as an individual, as well as to the teams, departments, units, and whole organization by managers in written form too. So formalization indicate the goals and vision of the organization, task, hierarchy and relationship, authority and responsibility, different processes and work methods. Then comes departmentalization. As the name states, departmentalization is the process of dividing organizational functions into different departments as per specialization of jobs or responsibilities so that a common task can be handled by a specialized teams. In a rigid departmentalization, there is almost no interaction between different teams, and each team work as per their area of specialization. Whereas in loose departmentalization, the teams are free to interact with each other and can work together for a common task. Now the next topic is organization culture, definition and characteristic. Organization culture include an organization's expectation, experiences, philosophy, as well as values that guide member behavior and is expressed in member self-image, inner workings, interaction with the outside world. So culture is based on shared attitude, belief, customs, and written and unwritten rules that have been developed over time and considered valid. Culture also includes the organization vision, values, norms, systems, symbols, language, assumption, belief, habit. So in the words of Deal and Kennedy, he says that organizational culture is the way the things are done around here. So above definition of culture express how the construct plays out in the workplace. Other definitions stress employee behavior components and how organizational culture directly influences the behavior of employees within the organization. The Schultz and Ravasi said that organization culture is a set of shared assumptions that guide what happens in the organization by defining appropriate behavior for various situations. In the words of Schwartz, organization culture affects the way people and groups interact with each other, with client and with stakeholders. Also, organization culture may influence how much employees identify with their organization. So, thus we can say organization culture is a system of shared belief and attitude that develop within an organization and guide the behavior of its members. Now comes characteristics of organization culture. The first is individual autonomy, then structure, then management support, identity, performance reward system, conflict tolerance, risk tolerance, communication. So I'm starting with first individual autonomy. Organization culture depends upon the degree of responsibility, freedom, opportunity are given to employees in the organization. That is called as individual autonomy. Then comes second, structure. So how organization is creating its objectives and clearing and communication of objectives to each and every employee of the organization. That is called as structure. Then comes management support. It means how much managers support and understand their subordination in the organization culture. Then comes identity. The degree to which employee identify themselves with the organization as a whole rather than with their department or team. Then performance reward system. The performance reward system based on performance of the employees. So performance reward system prevailing in the organization is part of organization culture. Then conflict tolerance. The conflict tolerance, the conflict between employees affects the organization culture and how conflict are resolved in the organizations, how well conflict are resolved is the part of organization culture. Then risk tolerance. So encouragement to employees to take decisions, think differently, also make the organization culture. Then communication. So the communication, whether communication is open or very strict among managers and subordinate, this also affects or creates the organization culture. So these are characteristics of organization culture. Now types of organization culture. The next topic is types of organization culture. First is normative culture. In such culture, the norms and procedures of the organizations are predefined and the rules and regulations are set as per the existing guidelines. The employees behave in an ideal way and strictly adhere to the policies of the organization. No employee dares to break the rules and stick to already laid policies. This is called as normative culture. Second is pragmatic culture. In a pragmatic culture, more emphasis is placed on the clients and the external parties. Customer satisfaction is the main motive of the employees in the pragmatic culture. Such organizations treat their client as gods and do not follow any set rules. Every employee strives hard to satisfy his client to expect maximum business from their side. Then comes academic culture. So organization following academic culture hire skilled individuals. The roles and responsibilities are delegated according to the background, educational qualification and work experience of the employees. Organizations following academic culture are very particular about training and existing employees. They ensure that various training programs are being conducted at workplace to hone the skills of the employees. The management makes sincere effort to upgrade the knowledge of the employees to improve their professional competence. The employees in an academic culture stick to the organization for a longer duration and also grow with it. Educational institutions, the university, hospitals practice such culture. Then next is baseball team culture. A baseball team culture considers the employees as the most treasured possession of the organization. The employees are the true assets of the organization who have major role in its successful functioning. In such a culture, the individual always have an upper edge and they do not bother much about their organization. Advertising agency, event management companies, financial institutions follow such culture. Then come club culture. Organization following a club culture are very particular about the employees they recruit. The individuals are hired as per their specialization, education qualification and interest. Each one does what he is best at. The high potential employees are promoted suitably and appraisals are regular feature of such culture. Then come Fortis culture. There are certain organizations where employees are not very sure about their career and longevity. Such organizations follow Fortis culture. The employees are terminated if the organization is not performing well. Individuals suffer the most when the organization is at loss. Stockbroking industries follow such culture. Then come tough guy culture. In a tough guy culture, feedbacks are essential. The performance of the employees is reviewed from time to time and their work is thoroughly monitored. Team managers are appointed to discuss queries with the team members and guide them whenever required. The employees are under constant watch in such a culture. Then, bet your company culture. Organizations which follow bet your company culture take decisions which involve a huge amount of risk, and the consequences are also unforeseen. The principles and policies of such organizations are formulated to address sensitive issues, and it takes time to get the result. Then come process culture. As the name suggests, the employees in such culture adhere to the processes and procedures of the organization. Feedbacks and performance reviews do not matter much in such organization. The employees abide by rules and regulations and work according to the ideologies of the workplace. All government organizations follow such a culture. Now, these are the questions which are related to the above topic. If any query is there, please do contact me. If any mistake is there, please ignore that mistake. Thank you. Thank you so much.